Mic check, here we are. All this shit I should do before I press play. Or record, camera good, USB audio good, color maxima good. What's up, y'all? It is Saturday, August 30th, 2025 at 11:02 a.m. Pacific time. And I'm coming to you live from Burbank, California, Los Angeles, California, USA, planet Earth. And I'm pulling out of the Home Depot parking lot. I apologize. I'm doing this podcast from the car, from the white Tessy, that apparently I need to open the app to start. I'm visiting my girlfriend in LA. I'm currently in her car. That is more fucking spaceship than car. Apparently. Hold on, y'all. Starting the car. I remember one time I was driving this car on mushrooms. And it was like, I could tell that this car's connected to the universe. That this is not just like a mechanical device to get from point A to point B. This is like a spaceship. It's a communication device. When I was on shrooms, I could feel this car like vibrating with the powers of the, like its connectivity to the universe. Could I tell you right now why it's not starting? Absolutely not. This car is perhaps too powerful. Oh, you know what? It's because I turned off the Bluetooth on my phone. Look, dude, this car, you cannot start without having Bluetooth connected on your phone. That's insane. I mean, I think we've gone a little too far, guys. But I guess there's no going back. Oh, the Bluetooth on my phone is now activated, so the car will drive. What the fuck is going on? Anyway, got a little thing I just want to comment on. Actually, you know what? I won't even comment on it. I'll just say this. There are certain problems in life, like little problems. I'm learning, this sounds so like bro-ish, and it's not just jiu-jitsu or martial arts that can teach these lessons in life. But I swear I learned a lot of lessons in life from jiu-jitsu or martial arts. Or perhaps I should have learned them more through yoga. I guess I just never really studied yoga thoroughly. I just kind of did it on YouTube and developed my own practice I do every morning rather than like studying it more intensively. I really just use it more of a warm-up for my daily exercise. By the way, I'm heading from Home Depot in Burbank back to the old house in Highland Park, Eagle Rock, our old crib on Avenue 52. I apologize for the lady in the voice in the background talking to me. I don't need to know. I know how to get to my house. I don't need directions. Our old house in Highland Park. Yeah, that's where I'm headed. To pick up a package that I delivered there. It is Labor Day weekend. I'm back visiting the lady, and I was just talking about lessons from life that come from jiu-jitsu and martial arts. Look, just like in jiu-jitsu, it's very important to stay calm when you're in trouble or when you're not in trouble. Stay calm. Maintain the same psychological approach, at least that's I try to do, regardless of whether you're in an advantageous position or disadvantageous position. If you're have someone's back and are in a position to choke them, it's best to stay calm, not freak out. Apply the choke slowly and firmly and strongly. Breathing, controlling your breathing. Same as if, is this someone, I wish I could show you the truck in front of me right now, the pickup truck that has no less than like 100 wooden pallets loaded up on it. We're back in LA, folks. Or someone has your back. It's like super important to just stay calm. Relax. Don't panic. The more you struggle, the more you freak out, the worse it gets. The same applies with just like little problems in life. I swear, the problems in life that cause me the most issues are the ones that I feel like I don't have control over, and I start freaking out and worrying about them. Just little simple like errand type things. I remember one time there was a like key I needed to make for my car. Like obviously I don't know how to make a fucking fob key for my car. And so I went to the Hyundai dealership to try to get it made. And it was just like constant issues. Like there was a line for like 3 hours of waiting, and then I don't know, like the key guy who makes the keys wasn't there. Then like the GPS wasn't connected. Like, and I had to go like 7 fucking times to this Hyundai dealership, 45 minutes away from my house, to get this one key made. It's like I dedicate like multiple weekends to get this stupid fucking key made. But it's like because I would worry about and freak out about why can't I get this key made instead of just like relaxing and feeling like it would get done, like I do with larger problems in life, like just kind of like jobs in the direction of my life, or my jiu-jitsu practice, or some stuff like that. I don't know. There's just certain problems in life. It's like you get stuck in it like quicksand. And I think the same thing happens with relationships. Like if you worry about, like if a girl didn't text you back or something like that, or should I do this or should I do that, or did I say the wrong thing? It's like the more you worry about that shit, the worse it becomes. Like the more it actually manifests itself in life. I had a similar issue with this door, dude. This fucking door in the casita, which I'm driving back to right now. Like the bathroom door broke one time. This is like 3 years ago when Emmy was a baby. She put like a little wooden block behind the door hinge and closed the door so crazy, like the mechanics of the door, and ripped the door off the hinge. And for like 3 years we were trying to replace this door. It was the craziest shit, man. Like I'd get a custom door made and it'd be just like 1 inch off. The door frame size and the entry to this doorway was like not standard size, so the door needed to be custom made. But every time I'd attempt to go to like Home Depot or a door place to make the custom door, we would spend $500 on the door, and they would send the door and it'd be like an inch off, and then we'd send it back, and then like it would be like a 6-month delay for the next door to come. Just like crazy shit. Like, how is it this fucking hard to get a door? But I would worry about it constantly. Like, these little things would stick in my head, and it was like these seemingly simple problems would grow into these bigger problems because I honestly think I was contributing like negative mental energy to it, and you get stuck in like quicksand. So it's just best to just like if you're stuck, someone has your back in jiu-jitsu, it's best to just relax, stay calm, breathe. Or if you're in a very difficult yoga position, or, you know, in a hot yoga class, just stay calm, breathe, deep breaths, or anything, you know, the same in, I guess, any sort of physical activity, right? Don't panic. Stay calm like a quarterback managing the game. Don't panic if you throw an interception. Stay calm. Focus on the next play, that sort of thing. Focus on the present moment, that sort of thing. So anyway, I'm running errands around Burbank right now, and that little life lesson just occurred to me. Why do I keep saying Burbank? I'm obsessed with the concept of Burbank. L.A. Why do I keep calling Burbank? I keep doing that shit too. I guess because my girlfriend lives in Burbank, and it's looking like that's where I'm going to move back to in L.A., and I'm like wrapping my head around the concept that I'm going to live in Burbank, which previously I didn't find like that desirable a place because it's like, it's not Hollywood. It's kind of Hollywood, not like actory Hollywood, but more like family Hollywood. It feels very like entertainment industry centric, which I'm not like a huge fan of. But it's actually very nice, and I guess I'm just wrapping my head around the fact that that's going to be my new home in 2026. Anyway, today's the first day of fucking college football, baby! Go Dogs! Go Tigers! The Dogs got Marshall. I think like right now. Actually, what time is it? It's 11. I think the Dogs kick off at 12:30 Pacific. And then the fucking LSU Tigers got Clemson tonight, 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. Huge day of college football. Ohio State, Texas, I think is like probably in the second half right now. I'm not paying attention at all. The lady is working. I'm going to run some errands around town. And then we're heading down to San Diego. At least that was the plan. But apparently she has a friend whose boyfriend is from Alabama and is a huge college football fan. And we're going to stop by their house before we head out to San Diego, which is very cool. Because honestly, I don't think I've met a single person in 5 years of living in LA, 5.5 almost. No, 5.5, more than 5.5. Now that I don't really live in LA anymore. But in over 5 years living in LA, I don't think I met a single college football fan. I don't think. I met one of my professors, one of my jiu-jitsu professors, coaches, one of the black belt coaches in Oregon is a big LSU fan, college football fan. So that was cool to learn at the end of class the other day. So college football popping off. Man, I'm really struggling mentally with like the amount of time I'm spending consuming college football, and it's like, do I even, what, am I just operating as an adult like I have just been programmed like a child. Like I'm just paying attention and giving my time and energy to all the things I did when I was a kid. Football and this shit where it's like I was kind of born into that system. It's like being born into a religion. Like, isn't it time to kind of reset psychologically and sorry, I'm flying past people. I thought there was issues with y'all. If you're listening to this, the rule of the road in this country, and I'm pretty sure most countries that drive on the same side of roads as us, is slow traffic keeps fucking right. The East Coast has this down. The West Coast has no idea. And the farther northwest you get, they have less idea. In the Northwest, there are posted signs everywhere, which you do not see in the South at all. Slow traffic, keep right. So the left lane, you're going fast. Right lane, go slow. Really, it's like if it's a 3-lane highway. Anyway, it's crazy, man. LA people just drive whatever fucking lane, which I thought was an issue until I went to Oregon, and it's even crazier because at least people in LA drive relatively quickly, and Oregon people just drive slow as fuck in whatever lane. LA do the same, but in Oregon it's like more exaggerated, and I guess because the highways are smaller, it's more exaggerated of an issue. Anyway, if you're going fast, stay left. And really what you should do is just in like Maine, in New England, they've got it fucking down, dude. If it's a 2-lane highway, for example, everyone drives in the right lane. When you come up behind a car that you want to pass, you get in the left lane, pass them, and then get right back in the right lane. That's really how it should be, like fucking robots. That's how it should be, man. Anyway. Yeah, I dedicate a lot of time to watching sports. I don't think that's the best use of my time. It's like becoming more palpable. I feel like I'm like forcing it almost, like, oh, football season. I am excited, genuinely, like in a childish way, but also I'm like, when I reflect on it, and like as time passes by and I get older, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna be 38 at the end of the year. I keep thinking at one point, like, I'm gonna intensively study like human history and time and all this stuff. Now I'm thinking, my job ends at the end of this year, and I need to start a new job, start a new career, potentially go back to school. It's like all these things I want to do in life, and I know I'm capable of doing and excited about doing, but then I'm like, the actual time, I think a lot of like goals and success and things you want to achieve and how you manage your life is just directly tied to time management. So, yeah, I think at some point you got to just have to delete, even though things are like fun or you're passionate about them, I guess time and energy are a little bit finite for human beings. Although I believe on a universal level, perhaps time and energy are infinite. But just perhaps on the individual level, they're finite. Or maybe we just haven't figured out how to access infinity through our individual vessels. Anyway, that's a broader kind of fucking conversation. But, yeah, man, I think as excited I am about football and everything else, it does kind of feel like this is the end of this like kind of obsessive, passionate study of it. Although when I do have kids, I know it'll get fired back up, especially if I have a boy. And I hope girls are into sports too if I have a girl. But martial arts, definitely I still want to follow and track closely, UFC and all that. Anyway, I'm like having two thoughts at the same time, being super excited about college football, but at the same time recognizing like, man, why should I should maybe spend my time doing other things. I know I've touched on this almost on a weekly basis on the podcast, but I just want to express my thoughts out loud. So I'm thinking like maybe starting to wind down my sports following. I get obsessed is a problem, dude. I struggled with OC as a kid. I've really learned how to kind of harness it. It just still affects me negatively, obviously, and this might be one of the ways, my sports spectatorship and consumption and everything. But I get obsessed, man. So like it's college football all the time. So I'm like, oh, I want to watch all the fucking highlights of all the games, and I want to know everything about all the teams, and football's badass. But honestly, when the same thing just happened when like what was it? The soccer tournaments a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago was the Club World Cup and the Gold Cup. I like, the Club World Cup, fucking international club soccer, which I never fucking follow, but I get like my teeth into it a little bit, and then I'm gone. I get obsessed. So imagine if I did that about like medicine. or like finance. Make some real fucking positive changes in my life, perhaps. Anyway, but I do think there's good and goodness that emanates from your being, not only for yourself but for others, by doing things, by like just kind of following the path of the things that make you happy and you're interested in. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. But at the same time, recognizing it's time to become interested in other things as well. But so I'm thinking about winding down my sports after this, like college football, NFL this season, go all in. Then season's going to end. It's going to be NBA and March Madness. And maybe that kind of maybe start every year dropping a sport. Baseball's been dropped, right? So in 2026, maybe we drop, that'll be the last year basketball or like NBA and then college basketball. And then, I don't know, who fucking knows. Yeah. Life in Oregon has been good. Transitioning subject with a brutal fucking transition. Life in Oregon has been good the past week. Same kind of issues with jiu-jitsu training. A lot of talking, not enough rolling for my liking, but getting the rolls in after class and have the weight room as well to keep things, to get enough workout, exercise in on a daily basis. But that's just been my schedule this past week. Waking up, I'm in the basement. I've been in the basement the whole week. So the girls, I have the sounds of little footsteps waking me up every morning at 7 a.m., 6:30, which is infuriating, but also awesome. Not infuriating. Infuriating is way too strong. Like those sounds of footsteps, waking up at 6:45, and I'm like, I can go back to sleep, right? I can sleep through this, and like I don't need to get up and like hang with them, or I can just sleep at night. But it's as soon as it wakes me up, or as soon as I hear the voices, I'm like, I want to get up and see them before school or whatever. This is why I'm here. And so it's been tiring. I should say that, not whatever the word I just said was. It's been tiring, fatiguing. Being on their extreme wake-up schedule. But extreme wake-up schedule, it's not extreme. Being on their exact wake-up schedule. But it's been cool. And that's the reason I'm there in Oregon right now, is to spend time with them and then, have Emmy climb in bed at 7 a.m. in the morning, JoJo climb in bed, and we all get like 15 minutes to hang out before Luke and Sue, mom and dad, wake up. And, it's been cool. It's been really cool. And so then, they get ready for school. I don't even drop them off. Just kind of hang out with them in the morning this week. And then JoJo started first grade, so first week of first grade's in the books. Next week, she's going to start taking the school bus, like the half mile from the house. Lucas has been dropping her off this past week. And then a school bus takes her from the school another fucking half mile to the rec center down the street for after school care. Everything's right in the fucking neighborhood. So I've been going to jiu-jitsu in the afternoon, training, working out, yoga, and then going to get the girls around 3:30 and just taking them to the park and enjoying our time together. I think this next week I'm going to start to try training in the afternoon. Just because there's a greater array of classes at my current gym in the afternoon, including striking and MMA on Wednesdays. In the absence of this jiu-jitsu tournament, which I was planning on doing on September 20th, which I'm no longer doing anymore because I'm going to be back in LA in, what is that, however long that is from now. What is today? So I guess I'm going to be back in 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know. In the absence of that, I'm training and I feel motivated by that and getting better, but also I feel like I like having the competition on the horizon. So, man, I really would like to do an MMA fight before I turn 40. So starting to get in, little taste of MMA, really try to limit my head, the shots I'm taking to the head. I'd like to start checking out MMA before the end of the year. So doing the classes in the afternoon this upcoming week when I get back to Oregon. Dude, Jojo and I have had the coolest conversations this past week. Jojo and I had a really long conversation about whether or not God is real, the existence of God. She asked me if I thought God was real or is God real, and I told her that it's up to each individual person to determine whether or not God is real. Some people think God is real. Some people think God is not real. I told her that I think I do believe in God as like the collective energetic vibration of all things, of the entire universe. I don't necessarily think of God as like an individual in the sky. Asked her if she thought God was real. She said yes, because there wouldn't be any schools or sky. Or do you not see what this is? Some people just do not understand. Thank you. Basically, JoJo said there would be no things in the world if there was no God, which is obviously like kind of a simplistic but actually kind of profound thing to say. It's like, okay, that's true, actually. That's what you think when you're a kid, right? You would just start listing off things, right? She's like, if there was no God, there'd be no school, there'd be no friends, there'd be no chairs, there'd be no cars, there'd be no grass, blah, 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 blah. Which I remember having those kind of conversations when I was a kid too, which seems simplistic. Because you're like, oh, actually the grass is made by photosynthesis. But then it does get back to like this origin, this point of origin of where everything came from. So I think there's a wisdom to children, right? A profound wisdom to children, because they're the closest to the source. Speaking of God, like, and then I had that conversation. I was like, Emmy, do you believe in God? And she kind of just repeats what JoJo says. But I also said, like, Emmy, we should trust Emmy's assessment of the reality of God, because she's the closest to God. If we believe that people are born from nothing or come from God, which asked JoJo, do you think babies come from God? She said yes. I was like, okay, well, then Emmy was most recently with God, so she might be the most wise on this topic. So yeah, children have profound wisdom. It's super cool to have these conversations with JoJo. We also had another awesome conversation about democracy, where she told me in the car that Donald Trump is bad. He's a bad guy. He's a bad president. He's doing, like, destroying America, destroying Los Angeles, something like that, which is obviously things she's heard from her parents or her friends or wherever. She's lived in LA and Portland her whole life. And I told her, it's an important conversation I want to have with her throughout her life, that it's like, some people think, just like God, like some people think God's real, some people think God is not real. It's the same with Donald Trump. Some people think Donald Trump's a bad guy. Some people think Donald Trump is a good guy. It's up to you to decide if Donald Trump is a good guy or a bad guy, or any politician or any human being, one of your friends. Don't believe in God because other people told you is real. Don't think someone is bad or good because someone else told you they're bad or good. You need to make your own individual assessment of whether or not someone is bad or good. And just because you come to one conclusion and another person comes to another conclusion doesn't mean that person is bad or that you guys can't be friends. That is life. In many cases, in some cases in life, you have the 2 + 2 = 4, but in other cases in life, truth is kind of non-existent. Objective truth does not necessarily exist. The truth is up to you individually, just like the existence of God, just like the goodness or badness of a person. And to have those conversations with her are some of the coolest moments of my entire life. Maybe the coolest moments of my entire life. I just parked outside of our old house here in LA. And I can remember right before we found out we were moving to Oregon, I was tripping on mushrooms in the casita, in the guest house here. And JoJo came in and asked me to read with her. And it was the first time I'd ever seen her read individually by herself. And sitting there watching her read her first words was, man, one of the most profound, beautiful experiences of my entire life. And now, stone cold sober, driving her in the car and having conversations with her about the existence of God and the existence of the concept of democracy and the concept of electing. We even got into the concept of, is it a good idea to elect one person to represent this many people? Having those conversations with her as a first grader when I first moved here almost 6 years ago, and she was a blob of virtual nothingness, of just love and physical reactions, is insane and amazing, and an experience that I think lies at the foundation of who we are as human beings, and is beautiful because we can all have it. It doesn't. It takes money to raise kids, but it's like all of us have access to that experience, the experience of like ultimate connection and growth and love, either by making I didn't make her, right? So it's not like I had to even successfully procreate to have that experience. So it's cool, man. There's like some of the most profound experiences in life are just accessible to everyone. That same experience would be accessible to like a villager in Africa or the Amazon jungle with zero technology or modern conveniences. Anyway, I'm outside the house now. I'm going to wrap it up on that note. It's kind of a cool note, make it a short episode. NFL season kicks off next week. I'm going to fire up the Legion of Zoom this week. I have no idea if anyone is even going to respond. But I'm going to send a text out to about 20 dudes, start tracking the Seahawks through the season, and hopefully have Zoom calls. My plan is to have Zoom calls once a week for the next, well, Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl, so the next 6 months, almost, as we track the Seahawks march to glory. I hope someone responds and hops on the Zoom with me. If not, I don't give a fuck. We'll do this shit solo. And you'll get plenty of the same from the week on it. I'm coming every week, unless barring travel or whatever. For the remainder of the NFL season, I hope I'm accompanied by some of the bros from back home to celebrate the success and glory of our Lord and Savior, head coach Mike McDonald. UFC's off this week in honor of college football. I think they're off next week for NFL season too. UFC kind of lays low right in the beginning of football season. So I have a ton of MMA to track. I watched UFC Shanghai Johnny Walker versus Zhang this past week. Johnny Walker knocked him out. Fantastic. I don't remember that much from the card, actually. And I'm going to leave it there because I had a profound note about my beloved JoJo. And, man, I have 4 more months with those girls. I'm going to head back to Oregon on Tuesday morning and get just back in the routine. I'll be flying back to L.A. every couple of weeks, training, hanging out with the girls. And then I need to start making moves to finding another job. I think I've talked about that. I'm trying to stay as present as possible, but I think I'll be more sound psychologically and calm if I kind of start to develop a better idea of what I'm doing professionally come January. Yes, I'll get into more specifics on kind of my plan for that perhaps in the next couple of weeks, especially we'll see. Hopefully we got some dudes on the Zoom call and we'll just talk life and football. All right, I love you all. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.